Good morning, students. Today we'll start the second chapter. First chapter is complete. Is the second chapter, structure of atom. Now in this chapter, normally we'll study about the different models of atom. As you have got Thomson's model of atom, Rutherford's model of atom, Bohr's model of atom. So different types of model already you have got. So here also you have to study about this model. So first time we will study about the Thomson's model of atom, and in this Thomson's model of atom, he gave one model, but there has some limitations and there are some drawbacks. And due to that drawback, one of the scientists, Rutherford, modified the Thomson model, and he gave one new model which is called Rutherford's model of atom. But Rutherford's model also have some drawbacks, and due to that drawback, Bohr, one of the scientists called Bohr modified the Rutherford's model of atom, and he developed one new model which is called Bohr's model of atom. After discovering Bohr's model of atom, up to Bohr's model of atom, we have got. After discovering this Bohr's model, it was found that actually Bohr's model is applicable only for one electron system. One electron system means those atoms which contain only one electron. For that type of atom, you can apply your Bohr's model. But those atoms which contain more than one electron, for example carbon contains 6 electron, oxygen contains 8 electron. For that type of atom which contain more than one electron, for that type of atom, Bohr's model cannot explain. So that is why Bohr's model also have some drawbacks. So here now you will get a new model of atom after Bohr, that is called quantum mechanical model of atom. And this is one of the model by which you can satisfactorily explain about the structure of atom. And this quantum mechanical model of atom, it is completely a mathematical chemistry. So different types of integration, differentiation are involved here. So it's completely mathematical. So before doing this model, one by one we'll do the model. Before doing this model, first time you should know, when you study about the structure of atom, actually atom contains some fundamental particles. So as you know, these fundamental particles are protons, your neutrons, electrons. These are the fundamental particles which are present inside the atom. Now here we will study where the protons are present, inside the atom where the neutrons will be present, and inside the atom where the electrons will be present. That you have to study in different models of atom. So before doing the model, you should know about the fundamental particles. What are the fundamental particles present inside the atom? Normally atom contains 3 fundamental particles: proton, electron and neutron. And the charge of proton is positive, +1, charge of electron negative, and charge of neutron 0. I mean neutron is neutral. And if you want to know about their masses, the mass of proton in terms of kg unit, it is 1.6725 into 10 to the minus 27 kg. This is the mass of proton. The mass of electron in kg, that is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. And the mass of neutron is 1.6748 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. So mass of proton and mass of neutron almost same, but mass of electron is very less. It is one type of negligible mass because it is given 10 to the power 31. I mean it is very less amount. So these are the different fundamental particles present inside the atom. These are their charges. Some one contain positive charge, some one contain negative charge, and some one is neutral. And their masses in kg, the masses are given. The mass of electron, mass of proton, you should learn it because in numerical you have to apply it. Now since you have got the fundamental particles, how these fundamental particles are discovered, how the electrons were discovered, how the protons are discovered, how the neutrons are discovered, first time you should know about this. So I will explain first time about the discovery of proton. So first thing I will give you about the discovery of electron. First time I will do, after that I will do proton. discovery of electron. So how the electron were discovered? I mean, how the scientists got the idea about the electron particle? Actually, they carried out one experiment which is called discharge tube experiment. This is a tube which is called discharge tube, and that's why this experiment is called discharge tube experiment. Here one metal rod, here one metal rod. These metal rod are connected to a high voltage source. I mean, electricity you have to pass like this. This one is negative rod, that means this is called cathode. This one is positive rod, it is called anode. And a vacuum pump is used here. This is a vacuum pump. Now, how the scientists carry out this discharge experiment? Inside the discharge tube, he took one gas. This is the gas which is present inside the tube. Normally, these gases are poor conductors of electricity. I mean, when you pass electricity through the gas, you cannot pass the electricity through the gas, and that's why gases are said to be poor conductor of electricity under ordinary condition. But as you know, every gas exerts pressure. This gas also have some amount of pressure. When you reduce the pressure of the gas inside the discharge tube, and that's why I have used one vacuum pump. By using this vacuum pump, you can reduce the pressure. So when you reduce the pressure of the gas by using the vacuum pump, then the current flows through the gas. So under normal condition, gas become poor conductor. I mean, you cannot pass the electricity through the gas. But if the pressure of the gas is low, then the current will pass through the gas. So like this way, what they carried out, by using the vacuum pump, they reduce the pressure of the gas. And when they reduce the pressure of the gas up to 10 to the power minus 2 atmosphere by using the vacuum pump, I mean by using the vacuum pump, they reduce the pressure of the gas up to how much? 10 to the power minus 2 atmosphere. Then it is found that the current flows through the gas, and at the side of anode, a green color glow, I mean a light you can see at the side of anode. So when the pressure of the gas is reduced to 10 to the power minus 2 atmosphere by using the vacuum pump, then a light is obtained at the side of anode. After that, they again reduce the pressure up to 10 to the power minus 4 atmosphere. When the pressure of the gas is reduced to 10 to the power minus 4 atmosphere, then it is found that some rays are coming from the cathode side to the anode side, and this side of the tube glows with a green color light. These are rays, and these rays are coming from cathode. Since the rays coming from cathode, that's why these rays are called cathode rays. So this is the discharge tube experiment. He took some gases inside the discharge tube. When you pass the electricity under normal condition, gas become poor conductor. By using vacuum pump, when you reduce the pressure up to 10 to the power minus 2 atmosphere, then the current start to flow through the gas. And when the pressure of the gas reduced to up to 10 to the power minus 4 atmosphere, then some rays were coming from the cathode to anode side, and these rays are called cathode rays. And why these rays are called cathode rays? Because they are coming from cathode. That's why these rays are called cathode rays. After discovering these cathode rays, they examine the rays. I mean, what are the properties of these rays? So these properties of rays are important. Scientists got that cathode rays, when travel, they always travel in a straight line. I mean, they cannot move like this way. They always travel in straight line. And how they got it? How they got it? So by taking the shadow of an object, like that way you can find out the direction of the ray, whether it travels in straight line or not. In the second class I will explain about that. Thank you.